Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to talk about how am I doing with my Prana process. It's nearly 2 years after I've done the Prana conversion process, if that's what you want to call it. Few people have asked me how am I doing and can I post an update. So here we are. So let's get into it. Um, as a recap, this video was made in July 21. I did the Prana process end of September, begin October of 2019 in Holland with Brahma Manor and Amudra. Super intense experience, amazing. It's 1 week process, 3 days of those you go dry, so no water, no food, nothing. And that's to kickstart your body into switching from getting your energy from food to switching your energy from prana. There's a number of videos on my YouTube channel where I will go through that whole process. I've made a video diary um, in the first few weeks of before I went in, and then coming out of that process, and then I did some updates, and then it's gonna be silent. So this is the 2 year update, well, almost 2 years. So let me talk you through the journey that I've been on, because it's a long journey. It's not a quick thing that you can just do and then you do that week process and then the job is done. No, actually, when you come home, that's when the work starts. Because when you're there in the group, you're with these beautiful people, with Menor, Metta Mudra, they hold you in that space, there's a high energy. Everybody can do that. It's no problem. But then you come home and then you're on your own. And I did this process in Holland. I live in England, and I don't have a community around me of people who do this, who live in this way. It's literally me on my own here. It's an individual process anyway, but on a day-to-day practical level, there is little support for me. So I had to literally do this on my own. Although they do offer Amudra Menor, they do offer support, and people that you do the process with, you stay in touch, and that's really super helpful. But to summarize, your body has to adapt. It's like a shock to your system. It's like literally, I always call this like you make the switch from food to prana. And the body needs to adapt. And the body starts to do this big cleanse, this massive detox happened. So the first few weeks, it's like the detox is happening. I could feel it literally happening in my body. One day this organ was hurting, then the other, and I can feel different parts detoxing and working. And I remember, I think the first week I was really tired. By week 3, I felt like, hey, I feel sort of normal. By week 5, I was jumping with energy, crazy, and my sleep was going down. However, my weight was also going down, and that was a thing for me, because I'm quite slim anyway. I was 59 kilos when I went in, and I kept losing weight, which is, in hindsight, I was so focused on, oh, I don't want to lose so much weight. Yeah, you're going to create it. I had too much focus on this, too much fear around not wanting to lose the weight, and then that's what happens. So I went down to about 51 kilo at the lowest point, which didn't look very nice, I must admit. But I felt great. I felt amazing. That's the interesting thing, right? I felt super good. Only when I look at myself in the mirror, not exactly how I wanted. The process that we went through is, the instruction is to take 3 months after the retreat, where you only drink juice and no solid food whatsoever. Well, I did that for 2.5 months, and then I gave myself permission to have a taste experience, because you really start to crave. I mean, you go nuts, your mind goes nuts, you want to taste certain things. And it's not lentil salad or something, it's like junk food, snacks, pizza, and all this. It's hilarious. So I started to give myself permission to have some taste experience. And actually, as soon as I did that, something inside me relaxed and my weight started going up. So although I hardly ate anything at that point, in no time my weight went to 55 kilos. So 59 down to 51, and then balancing out. It's a bit like this shockwave kind of effect, and then 55. That's where I went to. So for a number of months, that was sort of how I was living. I ate very, very little. I started drinking. I enjoy a cup of coffee. Sometimes I would have a croissant, and it was sort of that became my morning routine. Croissant with a cup of coffee, and that was it. Nothing else. Sometimes, if I felt like a little bit of fruit. Sometimes and then my body sort of wanted, or my mind still wants to eat sometimes, but actually nothing tastes right anymore. It's very strange. So I started searching at some point, like what? I want something, but what? Nothing felt right. And yeah, interesting. In the meantime, we had the whole lockdown situation. It was getting a bit harder because my daughter was at home with me, eating meals and snacking, and especially in the evenings when we're watching something, a Netflix series together, then the habit is just to want to snack something. So I did sometimes, fine. That was all going quite well. Then I got a relationship after the summer, around November, and this lady was a very good cook, really making delicious food. So in the beginning I would come there and go like, oh, I'm just gonna have a little bit for the taste experience. And 1 month later, and I was eating whole meals, and I thought, you know what, just let it be. Let's just really enjoy this. I was really enjoying the flavor, somebody else cooking for me. Normally it's always me having to cook. I don't enjoy cooking at all. So it was a beautiful experience, and you're in love and just enjoy it. And but that did take me back onto eating again. And I thought, fine. Actually, I was quite relaxed about that whole thing. Relationship ended in the spring, and took me first straight away. I knew like, yeah, I'm gonna go back to this. Took me some time first to deal with processing the end of that relationship, and then about a month ago, so around June, actually without me doing something or setting any goals, what started happening as my frequency was going up, my body was just telling me like, I don't want food anymore, or not certain foods. And what I started doing is listening more to my body. Like if I don't come from the mind, or what, habits like, oh, snacking in the evening. And more my body was just giving me feedback like, I don't want this anymore. I didn't feel good after. It's straight away my energy goes down, I get tired, needing more sleep, less connected, foggy. So the process I'm in now is, I am eating, but actually in a very natural way. I'm training myself to really listen to my body and asking my body, what does it want? Actually, my body doesn't want food, or not much food. It definitely doesn't want meals like normal meals. It seems to be at the moment, it's a bit warmer weather. Fruit is okay. Sometimes I enjoy having some fruit, especially strawberries, raspberries, something like this. Sometimes it's asking for, funny enough, salty crisps. So then I happily do it. But then also I'm trying to listen to, no, not finish that whole packet. No, if after 3 crisps I feel like, oh, that was enough, then to stop and close the packet and put it back. So that's my training at the moment, to really work with my body, really feel what does it want. And when I meditate, I have a double pyramid system in my garden, Merkaba meditation. If I stand in that for 5 minutes, I'm full, I'm charged up. It's like Prana supercharged, it's like boom. And I feel full, I don't need anything. So in a very natural way, without any pressure, there's no goal, there's no, oh, by that date I need to be free on Prana or go to this level or that level. There's nothing like that. I'm completely going with the flow. So sometimes I feel I really want to have a meal with my daughter and have spaghetti, and then I have spaghetti. Small plate. And if I want a big plate, I take a big plate. But be in the moment, and then listen to my body, what it's telling me on feedback. Sometimes it's okay, other times it's like, Stef, what you're doing. So very easy, very relaxed. Just listen to my body. What does it need? What does my body need? Easy. So this is a quite nice way of being. It takes away the mental stress that I had about, what happens if I don't eat at all, especially socially. It's quite tricky, let's be real. At the party, everybody is there enjoying food, enjoying the taste, and if then they're sitting there drinking a cup of tea only, it's a bit different, So in this way, I can, if I want to, I can join in, have some taste experience, tapas style, little bits, totally fine. And then, yeah, if I do that, then the next morning I don't need anything at all. Maybe around the evening, my body is asking for something. So how much is my intake at the moment? Oof, I haven't measured it or something. My guess would be that I'm maybe at 20. It varies per day. There are some days that I'm almost eating normal, like a normal person. I get these binges sometimes. Other days I'm at hardly anything. Maybe overall 20-30% of the intake that a normal person would have. So quite little, and it's going down. And I can notice straight away with more sunlight, it's easier when I'm more outside, more in nature. That helps. The things that tire me out is if I'm too much on the screen. That is tiring. Yeah, if I balanced, if I managed, and I need to work, I'll do a lot of online work, online healing sessions with people, so I need to be on the screen. But if I keep that in check and I spend enough time in nature, then it's a lot better straight away. So that's where I am, and it's an ongoing journey. I would love to go back to the state where I was after the retreat, where I was so full of energy and I only slept 4 hours, 5 hours maximum. That was an amazing experience. So it's slowly going that way. Again, I don't set myself any pressure. I want it to be really natural. But if I can get back to that state, and especially that super clarity in your mind when you really don't eat, that is amazing. So yes, I do want to go back to that. But I'm letting myself very gently, very slowly ease into that space. And that feels right at the moment. For me, And this is such an individual process. And this is what I loved with Amudra and Manor, where Manor is quite hardline, core. Okay, dry, don't eat at all, maybe drink sometimes a cup of coffee, but that's it. He's very like that. Amudra is much more flexible. During the week, water, and then at the weekend she will eat. And she found a balance that works for her in that way. And that's the thing, everybody needs to find a balance that works. So for me, I feel good at the moment with this. I know that as my frequency keeps going up, that's really noticeable lately. The more my frequency goes up, the more I get with source. Straight away, my need for food goes down. And it works the other way around as well. It reinforces it, because then the less you eat, the more connected you get. And then, of course, you start spiraling up. The more connected you get, then your frequency starts going up. Then you don't need to eat, etc. You reinforce it. So that's where I am. Thank you for watching. If you want more information, then contact me. I've been sort of talking of maybe bringing somebody over to England to do a retreat. That hasn't flowed this year at all. Don't think it's going to happen this year. Who knows next year what the situation is like, whether we can do that. yeah, we'll see. So thank you for your interest. There's a few people who asked me, so thank you very much to inspire me to give an update, and speak later. Bye.